Blood for the blood god, skulls for the throne of corn. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it is time for another chaos mode workout. And today was back in biceps day. So in spite of what I've done for the last few weeks of doing all my back work to de-emphasize lats and focus on biceps, I decided today to rotate back over to doing legitimate back work, really hammering my lats and then just pushing my biceps really hard afterwards. I feel like this will work for a while. It's what I feel like doing, because even though, yes, I know my back is my best body part, I also don't want it to get neglected for too long. I feel like I've had a few weeks to really push biceps hard, and here's the thing. Once I got over to the bicep work, my biceps were not any more fatigued than they were from my normal stuff. Like, I still managed to get the same sort of reps. I think on the incline I did a little bit better, picked up a couple reps, and it was my very last exercise. So again, I think this will work well. Plus, doing all this dumbbell work and other stuff has really let me experiment and see where my bicep strengths are. And I've realized that even my old previous torn bicep that is missing a chunk of muscle that the doctor removed over 20 years ago, or it's been right at 20 years, I guess, at this point, 21, 22, I don't know, I lost track, guys. It's been over 20 years, though. That I was actually able to get one more rep on it, on the one-arm preacher curls, than the other arm, so that's kind of interesting. So I went over with the back exercises that I know really light my lats up, and that's weighted pull-ups and seal rows. So I did 3 sets of these, did them pretty much to failure. Like on those last reps of pull-ups, I just kind of hung at the bottom, realized I couldn't get another rep, so I ended up getting like 9, and 8. I'd like to be getting sets of 10 with that weight, but they're failure sets, so I'll take it. And they lit my back up. My back really got a better pump than it's gotten in weeks, because I've been doing chin-ups and underhand grip rows and all that stuff. All right, what I like with the seal rows, of course, is just like the pull-ups, they really isolate my back. There's no real way to cheat. There's no way to get lower back involved or anything else. All right, and here we go, guys. I'm just kind of also letting you guys see everything. You guys can see the loose skin as I'm losing body fat. I feel like it's tightening up. I feel like today it looks tighter. So I'm just going to keep dieting, going to keep losing the body fat, keep getting leaner, and let that loose skin tighten up from the previous 100 pounds of fat loss. And yes, I have to mention that in the vlogs, because if I don't, I get people who have chimed in, hey, did you lose a bunch of weight or something? They're oblivious. So apparently it does need to be said. Absolutely needs to be said. So we did those in the same thing. I got like 9, and then I only got 8. Then I decided I don't necessarily need a whole lot of volume for back, because it is still a strong body part. So I stopped at 8 real sets. Keep in mind I do pullovers on chest day, and then I do deadlifts on my posterior chain day. So there is other back work, absolutely other back work. So I just did 2 sets of these pretty much to failure, the dumbbell rows. I got like 12 reps. Notice again the form that we use on this. People will try to talk to me about form on back stuff. I'm like, well, look at my back. Okay, I very much have figured out what makes my back get a pump and a stretch and a mind-muscle connection, and that sort of row, hands down, does it. So when I do these to where I stretch all the way down at the bottom, and then we bring it up to the chest or the armpit in a straight line, absolutely recruits more back, right? Instead of this little hip swing that people do, right? I feel this way more, and the main thing is getting that stretch at the bottom. You really need those scapula to spread apart, and that's true on the pull-ups. It's true on the other rows. Honestly, that's really the key to my back development. If people want the one back secret I have, because they're always like, man, your back is jacked. That's the entirety. That stretch at the bottom, getting the scapula apart. As long as you do that, I almost don't care what else you do. But, we should be trying to get a decent range of motion. But yeah, I feel like that little swing people do, it really seems to remove that stretch. And I don't like it. I don't think it works particularly well, and I think it's just silly. If you're going to do the dumbbell row, get that range of motion. That is the whole point of the movement. All right, barbell curls. I brought the grip in just a little bit on these. Same thing, trying to do these strict. Yes, I'm aware that it makes me use baby weight. You guys have seen me do cheat curls in the past with 185 for work sets, like 8 reps, 6 to 8 reps. feel like my biceps are better now that I'm doing everything strict. So like I've said before, even though I think maybe cheat curls can have their place, I don't know that it's what anyone needs to be doing whose biceps are really lagging. I think they fall under better for strength athletes in certain endeavors. I compete in strongman or something, absolutely get it. But if you're just trying to build biceps, strict, full range of motion. Notice we lock all the way down at the bottom, as far as I can go. We bring it up to the face, keep it under control. And as I get to failure, a lot of times that last rep, I try to squeeze it when I know I'm not gonna be able to get another rep. I'll squeeze it at the top just to make sure the biceps are finished off. All right, and then, again, you guys can tell when I'm a couple reps away. You can kind of see my face. You can see me straining a little more. All right, and then right there, try to slow it down, and then I know I'm not going to get another rep. So you did these, and they were in the basically the 10 to 12 rep range. Not a perfect count. I think I got 11 or 12 on the first one. I know on the third one I only got 10. I reached failure in 10 reps. So again, these stricter curls like this, it just is what it is. Now, but someone say, why are you bringing your elbows forward? Aren't you supposed to keep them pinned to your side? It's like, well, no. And then I hit the rack on that one. I had to step back a hair. I'm too close because I have those other J-hooks up there for calf raises that I've left up. Oops. People will say that, and I'm like, study basic anatomy. Look at the functions of the bicep. Okay, I can keep them a little more stagnant on the preacher curls, okay, which I do. But in that case, I'm trying to get that long head of the bicep. That is one of the functions. Right? The bicep is still a biarticulated muscle. It does connect to two joints. And so, yes, there are benefits to that. And it's not like I'm cheating or losing tension because I'm keeping the wrist cocked back on those. So that bicep is under tension up there when I'm doing that. In fact, it actually makes it harder. The way I'm doing it, I can't use as much weight. I can probably put another 20 pounds on the bar if I don't do that. But again, trying to work it through the full range of motion. Same here, preacher curls, doing these to failure. I've been doing the dumbbells, but I realized I'm not worried about muscle balance. My smaller, weaker side is capable of getting one more rep to failure on some of the sets. Again, that left side, which again, I tore, and it's had all of it fixed and everything. It's actually, apparently, when I go set for set, rep for rep, it is a hair stronger. But I used to only do, when I first started training for a while back, I used to do extra sets with it way back in the day. Okay, so maybe that helped. And I've always led with it when I do one arm stuff. Again, just to make sure. So it stayed equally strong. So now I'm just going to do these preacher curls. I like them with a narrow grip. I feel like it really, it's giving me a good bicep pump. Plus, it removes some of that benefit of the easy curl that will actually reduce bicep load because you get too much of that curve in. So right here, that's largely eliminated. It keeps you very, very supine, which is what I'm trying to do. And I could do these with a straight bar, I suppose. It's just I don't have a shorter one. So gripping it there in the middle really lets me do that. But these sets are hard. And these were something like somewhere between 9 and 11 reps. I think the last set I got like 9. Reached failure and we were done, right? So then try to slow it down. When I know I'm having to strain and grind, I go ahead and slow that last rep down so that we get that more difficult eccentric rep. Then I went to my incline curls, did 3 sets of these. These I managed to get like 10, I think 10 and 10, and the 8th rep I totally failed on the last set. Kind of the same thing. It's when we get to that 3rd set on a lot of these movements, we're getting the fatigue accumulating. So we did 3 sets of these, kept them pretty dang strict. Again, one of the things I like to do with these, what I always do is I'm going to get the most out of the movement. I know a lot of people do different things with incline curls. I go with the traditional old school method, no alternating. Why? Because it's a stretch reflex movement, okay? One of the big benefits of the incline curl is the fact that we can get a stretch reflex on it. If you pause to change arms, you're losing that stretch reflex. Okay, I want that stretch reflex because it allows me to get a stronger contraction at the top. That's what the data shows on those. So by getting that stretch reflex at the bottom, right, we're getting in that lengthened position, then using that myotatic reflex to force a stronger contraction, so more muscle fibers recruit at the top. Okay, very useful. So it allows us to get a completely different training response than we got on the other movements. So I want to take full advantage of that. Same thing of why I don't go into a hammer grip with it, because I want that supine stretch, trying to build biceps, all right? And this movement, because of that stretch reflex, will possibly build a little more upper bicep because we're building so much lower with those preacher curls. So again, trying to build everything, work all the angles possible. Again, try to get jacked, focus on the weak links like my arms as I continue to get leaner. And then I finished up with just one set of hanging leg raises. I did 4 yesterday, then we'll probably do a bunch tomorrow on leg day. Very happy with today's workout. Felt a great pump, great stimulus. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys and gals next time.